and welcome to the Scary Goals Club. I am your host, Hazel Robertson, and I believe that to make the impact that you know you are called to make in the world, it requires setting bigger, scarier goals and then becoming the person who creates them. That is what I am here to show you how to do. That's what we're diving into with mindset, tools, tricks, really simple, practical, actionable steps you can take and start applying straight away. Because whatever you believe, we have this one life that we definitely know about. Start making the impact you know you want to make in the world. Fear is not a reason to stop. We keep going. We work through the fear. That is what we do in the Scary Goals Club. So come on in, come join, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Hello. Hi, and welcome to the Scary Goals Club podcast. I have been struggling to stand up and record this, and I think so many different reasons, but like whenever there's a gap in me recording, like the last one I recorded was a couple of weeks ago, I almost find then all of the self-doubt and the reasons come in, and my brain's like, this thing you're going to talk about is not good enough. This thing's not good enough. Don't talk about this. Don't talk about this. And it's like all of these ideas I had of what I was going to do the podcast on, suddenly it's like, not this, not this, not this. So I am here. I am standing up. And I think if there's anything, and think about this like for your own life, if there's anything that whatever it is that you're kind of creating and it's something that wasn't there in the world before, you're putting your touch on it, your ideas into it, your maybe like opinions and way of seeing the world, or you're making a decision on something and, even if it's like in a work sense, sharing it with others. And there's always going to be this fear of like judgment. What will other people think? What if they disagree? What if they don't like it? What if for me, it's like, what if it doesn't resonate and everyone thinks it's terrible? And then this is where my brain can go to. And of course, it's like bringing it back to I think this is important, to like trusting myself and being like, okay, I think this is important. Almost like I need to hear this. Like if there was no one else, what would I decide? What do I think is important? And then sharing it. But there's still this like every single podcast, even though it's been like literally a year and a half since I started this whole project, there's still this like, oh, that vulnerability, I guess, aspect of standing up here. And some days I just stand up and I say the thing and it's good and it goes out into the world. And then when it's been a couple of weeks since I've last done it, or there's been some kind of pause or whatever the thing is, oftentimes that self-doubt can just sneak in again, the questioning. So if this is you and you find that there's some area of your life where you're questioning yourself and you're hesitating, and it's because of some fear of judgment of others or what other people will think, or what if someone doesn't like it? What if this? What if I make the wrong decision? What if this? What if it's like letting all of that go and just coming back to yourself? You don't want to close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, take some deep breaths, and just asking yourself, okay, what is it I think I'm going to do? Or what is it I want to share? Or what is it I'm making this decision on? And just owning it and trusting it. I say this, it still feels really scary, of course, but knowing that when we get into the questioning or thinking someone else has the right answer or worrying too much about what other people think, we start to just diminish the trust that we have in ourselves, other than like when you can truly trust yourself and back yourself, be like, okay, maybe for example, with this podcast episode and where I always get to is it's like, maybe it won't resonate as much as some other ones. And maybe not as many people will listen and share it. And what if that's okay? I'm still going to be so kind to myself and love myself anyway, even if that might be true. So again, thinking about this with you, like, is there some area where you're questioning or hesitating making a decision or hesitating sharing something or putting some work out into the world? And how can you just back yourself and love on yourself anyway, even if maybe it doesn't have quite the right reaction you thought, or someone does say something? How can you still love yourself anyway, be so kind to yourself anyway, and just know that everything's okay, and then kind of keep showing up? And one fun thing I actually wanted to share before I dive in. Oh yeah, so this week's podcast, we're diving into why don't need to be consistent. And it might get a little bit ranty because I have some very, very strong thoughts and very strong opinions on it because we'll get into this, but I have used consistency, and maybe this resonates with you as well, or like I have to be consistent, I quote unquote should be consistent as a way of having this like crazy high standard that I have then used to beat myself up. And I see this all the time with clients as well, where if something is changing, their plan changes, their energy levels change, especially if you're neurodivergent, where your energy levels will change and sometimes plans will change. And sometimes our brains are just having a day that it's like, okay, this is just one of those days. And then we have this like really high, crazy expectation of this, like, I have to be consistent to be successful. I have to be consistent. I have to, as if like, and measuring ourselves against that. And then we feel so much shame and so rubbish when we don't. So we're going to dive into why you don't actually need to be consistent and what I think personally helps me. And like, again, with my clients, like that you can lean into instead. So we will get onto that. But first, I want to show something so fun. So, little short story. We, Luke and I have been like figuring out some kind of holiday that we want to go on in September time. And it's been months. We have been figuring out what kind of holidays that we want to go on. We think we want to go abroad. Is it definitely abroad? Do we want to, maybe it's somewhere in Scotland? Maybe it's like how long? What exactly is this holiday that we want? And so he'll like text me some place and be like, what about this? Da, da, da. And it's like, oh, I'm not quite sure. And then I'll send him some bits and we're like, oh, not quite sure. Like even like, for example, one place we were thinking, we're like, oh, Slovenia would be cool. We went 10 years ago when we very first got together, like 2015. And it was like, oh, we'll go on this holiday to Slovenia. But from where we live, it's literally 2 flights to get there, connecting via London. There's not even a flight from Edinburgh that we could drive to. And with a 2-year-old, it's like, is that really what we want? I mean, I'm sure if we were there for 2 weeks, like we would have an amazing time. And like, it's such an amazing place. But it's like, oh, I don't know. So like the travel element and like having it kiddo friendly for a very like adventurous and outdoors kiddo, but also having stuff that like if the weather's not quite right, we can do stuff that's indoors. We're not kind of like stuck in some tiny apartment somewhere with like nothing to do. Although if it's wet, we will be getting out. We spend so much time outside anyway. Anyway, so it's been going back and then look, it's so fun. Like because I've been doing so much work over the last, I guess, year and a bit of leaning into my intuition and trusting that. He was like, why don't you go and ask your intuition? Go and ask your intuition. What is this holiday? Like, you know what it is, and then like come back and then we'll like figure it out from there. So I was like lying in bed just before going off to sleep, and I was asking my intuition, like, okay, what is this? What is this holiday? What is it? And the thing that has like kept coming back for me has been Norway. Okay, something in Norway. And then it just popped in. It was like, what about Bergen? What about Bergen? I had never been to Bergen in Norway, but it just like popped in. It was like, what about Bergen? So I had a look, and there's direct flights from Aberdeen, which is like not too far from where we live. It's like, yes, so easy. We don't have to like go down to Edinburgh. Like we can go to Aberdeen. It's like an hour and 20 flight. It's a city, but it's surrounded by mountains and fjords. You can get boats different places. You can even get boats within the city. There's like an aquarium. There's hills you can go up. There's a funicular railway. There's places we can also get a boat or hire a car for like go away for a few days and stay in like a farmstead, or like get the ferry up to like one of the nearby towns as well and go there for a few nights. So even we don't even have to hire a car for the whole time. We can just get around on public transport or on boats, which is super fun. Like absolutely loads of stuff to do, and then like cool like little buzzy Scandi coffee shops and like nice like just I've also imagined like, part of the holiday vibes was like just yes, the hiking, yes, the outdoorsy stuff, yes, the play parks and like stuff for kids and aquarium, but also just going to really nice, buzzy, Scandi coffee shops and having an amazing coffee and some kind of cake or something, just something that's like, so nice. And like being able to just walk around as well. Like if we were going somewhere like small, but we can also get out of the city as well. Anyway, so that was cool. We were like, yes, there's so many things to do, so many things to do. And then the next day or 2 days later, I was looking at my vision board. So in January this year, I think it was the 10th of January, I ran a vision boarding workshop, just held it at this local studio here, which was so fun, and walked everyone through like how to create a vision board, create your vision board for 2025, like how to tap into that. And I was looking at my vision board. It might not come up that well in the camera. Let's see if I can get this to come up. Hang on, I'll just show you this one bit of it. Don't know if you can see. It's basically, there's like one whole bit of my vision board is like beaches, a fjord, like colorful buildings and boats like on the water, like fire, outdoor cooking, cozy socks, a little like cabin hut. Basically, I put in January all of these pictures of, I don't know, it's probably not exactly, it's not exactly Bergen, but like basically of Norway. And it looks a lot like the West Coast with all the kind of fjords and things as well in January. And I've been looking at that, like, I guess, on and off, like most days, or certainly the days that I'm in this room for what's that? Where are we in now? I want to say 8 months, not quite 8 months, 7 months now. And it's obviously like I know and I understand how this all works. So it's not a surprise at all. And yet it is, it was like, this is amazing. One whole corner of my vision board is literally about to come to life. And it's how it works. Like we see these images, we're imagining it, and it's seeping into our subconscious. And this is obviously something that I was feeling drawn to at the start of the year. And now it's going to come to life in September. It's just so fun. And there's other parts of the vision board that are like in progress coming to life as well. But it's just, it's so fun. And I know it works. And I like having done this. This is what I teach as well, my clients. But like, it's still so fun when like the process of creating a vision board and being like, this would be so cool if this happened this year, and like dreaming and imagining and putting all the things on. And then actually looking back at the vision board and being like, this is now happening. Like this is in progress, or this has already happened. Like this is already my life now. Whereas even a few months ago, it was this dream, it was this vision, it was something that would be, oh, wouldn't it be so cool if this, for me, it was obviously, wouldn't it be so cool if like this was the vibe of one of our holidays this year of like fjords and nature and little cabins and like cozy socks and hikes and boats and colorful little buildings. And now literally we're going to be there for 2 weeks. So I thought I would share that. It's so fun. So if you, I don't know if you use vision boards, I'm assuming you probably have, or you've at least like heard of them. But if you don't, I highly encourage it. It is just such a fun process, especially if you, like me, I love looking at stuff, seeing visuals, and like from there I can form clear pictures in my head. And then it's such a subtle shift and it's such a subtle process, the whole like unfolding of it. It's not this like now, it's not like every single day for this year I've been like, okay, I need to think about fjords and do it. It's like not at all. It's just been going in. I've been looking at it, like feeling how it would feel to be in that situation and be in those places. And that has been carrying with me, that it's like when I was checking with my intuition, it's like, no, it's Norway. It's Norway we're going to, and Bergen, there's a direct flight, so we're going there. So amazing. Just wanted to share that. Anyway, who did? We're getting into it. Okay. Checking in with yourself. So have you ever, never have I ever, have you ever like find yourself either telling yourself or thinking about or beating yourself up or having some like rule, and maybe you're not fully aware of this, about the fact that you should be more consistent, or that if you could just do things more consistently, then you would be more successful, or something around that? Is there anything that's coming up? Because I think this is something, the consistency piece. I mean, I hear it a lot in like the online social media space. It's like, you gotta show up consistently, you gotta market consistency. Da, 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 da. You gotta, consistency is key. Consistency is progress. Da, 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 da. And I, for me, like a few things. Well, for me, my brain automatically interprets that. Maybe people have different ways of what they do. For me, my brain goes to, I need to show up every day. I need to show up being polished, full of energy, like having really interesting things to say. I need to be online every day. I need to be recording podcasts and putting them out every single week. I need to be whatever these things are. It's like I need to be writing emails every single week. I need to be this every. It's like boom, boom, boom. As in, and wherever that has come from, fine. But a lot of times, like this can come from society. This can come from capitalist society of, and even looking back to production lines and same output and consistent output and boom, 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 and where humans become resources and we need to push for more productivity and get more out of humans and like go, 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 consistency, consistency, drive, 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 push, 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 growth, growth, growth. And it just, for me, it just feels so toxic, so constraining. And it means that, like, for me, and this might resonate with you as well, especially if you're neurodivergent, my energy is not consistent. It is anything but consistent. Like, even before recording this podcast, I was going to do the podcast in the morning and I was like, I actually need a nap. And so I went for a nap and I allowed myself to do that. Whereas if I was like, no, I need to be consistent and I said I would record it in the morning, and you'd like, I pushed through, recorded some like tired, whatever podcast, just because I was like, I had to do it because I said I would do that. Well, even like last week when I was wanting to record a podcast this week, I don't feel like that's something that I want to be doing. It was like, no, it would have been like, no, you have to be consistent, you have to be consistent. So for me, like my energy levels are not consistent. They are variable. I have periods where I have all this creativity, I have all this energy. I'm like, go, 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 all the ideas are coming. It's like boom, boom, boom. And then I have periods where I need to rest and I need to step away and I need to be quiet for a bit. And I need to maybe have days where I'm a bit more insular or I'm processing things or I'm just like allowing myself to feel all the feels and do less than maybe I thought I might at the start of the week or thought I might at that day. And it's like, and that's okay. Like I have learned over the years, this has been a huge area of work for me is giving myself permission that my output and my energy and how I show up is not the same every single day. It's not even the same over a day or like over a week. And especially as women, if you're a woman, listen to this and you have a monthly cycle, it's not the same over a month either. It like ebbs and flows and we have times like during ovulation where it's like everything feels like it's coming together and we have so much energy. And then as we come into our period, we have less energy and we're a bit more insular and we feel a bit of the like intensity of the emotions. And it's a shift. It's not the same. Whereas guys are a little bit more consistent in their energy levels throughout the day, their energy levels throughout the month. And then all humans, we all have a bit of a cycle. Like we generally slow down a little bit over winter, get a bit more insular, have a bit more energy in spring and summer. So energy levels are not the same. So to have this like false like level that we're trying to attain of this consistent output, consistent energy over a day. And I can even like over a day at the start of the day, I'm like, ooh, this and this, and I'll maybe like have a bit more brain power. By the end of the day, I'm maybe a little bit more tired, unless I have a nap, which I did today. And now I'm like, that can actually help me into the afternoon of having a bit more energy in the afternoon. So it just varies. And then the other day, I had an evening where Luke was doing bedtime, and I was like, I actually have quite a bit of energy now. And I went to like a local hotel and sat and did a bunch of work. So I was like, I feel like I've got brain power now. I just want to be out of the house, someone to bring me a nice pot of decaf tea, and I'm just going to sit and just do a few things. That doesn't always happen. So I'm in bed at 8. Like it just completely changes. And so for me, like letting go of this need to be consistent, that somehow if I'm not consistent, I'm not going to be successful, or what I would internalize it as, I'm not good enough. And I don't know if that's resonating with you, like, but for me, yeah, if I'm not hitting this crazy high standard for what I thought my energy levels should be and my output should be and how I was showing up in meetings should be and how I was like showing up online and doing all these things, doing all the things. And I would just get exhausted. And then I would go through these phases of like, go, go, go. And then I would get completely drained, completely burned out, and then like have to pull myself back and then build up again and go, go, go. And what I wasn't understanding is that having this drive in my head, like this was all my interpretation of it from society, from what we are fed, that like somehow I had to be consistent and on all the time, and that's the only way could do things or be successful. And there is no, like, even thinking about my social media or this podcast, it is no way consistent. It has gone out most weeks. Has it always gone out at 7 a.m. on a Friday morning UK time? No. Sometimes I've recorded it on a Friday and sent it out. Has it always gone out every single week? I did take a pause for a month and a half, where I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue it or not. So even then, like I've had a pause, I've had a gap because that's what I felt I needed and I wanted to do. And then I picked it up again. I was like, okay, here we go. Like letting go of having to be consistent has completely changed so many things in my life. I'm like, oh, I feel like I can breathe. And the way that I think about it instead, which might be helpful for you, if you're feeling this pressure to like be on all the time and be going all the time and be filling your calendar from 9 till 5 every single day that you're working and filling it with like all the white space and not allowing yourself to step away and being like, I have to be producing, have to be on, have to be showing things, have to be having all this output. You don't have to be consistent. Consistency, whatever that means to you or has meant to you, has nothing to do with your worthiness as a human, your ability to be successful, your ability to create results, or anything like that. And what I have found is that when I've let go of trying to be consistent and instead just dropped into listening to my body, like, what do I need now? Okay, I need to step outside and stand in the bare ground, like with bare feet on the grass for 5 minutes. Or I need to put on music and dance it out. I need to go for a walk. I need to have a nap. I need to step away. And actually, this thing is better done tomorrow. And I'm going to do something else today because I know that that is just how I woke up feeling today. And I don't need to push through. I don't need to be like, well, I said I would do this and I have to be consistent and have this output. It's like being willing to give yourself grace, to give yourself space, because when we actually work in a way that works with our body and with our minds, we actually create way more. We actually are more, like, as a default, we become more quote unquote consistent. We are tapping into the natural flow of our bodies and of our energy levels. And so when we have a bit more energy, we can ride that wave a little bit more. And when we don't, we're able to rest and recharge and like restore ourselves and bring ourselves back to feeling more like our sparkly selves with the ideas and with the energy faster. Whereas if we just push through, we're reaching the end of the day or the week just like exhausted and like this shell of ourselves are just like, oh, it's just so not fun. And instead of this consistency piece, what I like to think of instead is I keep going. I keep showing up. I keep persevering. I keep showing up. And for me, it's not that it's consistent, meaning it's the same every single day or it's whatever. For me, I have reframed it as, okay, I didn't do that thing today, or I needed to rest today, or I changed something today, and I'm going to show up tomorrow. And I'm going to give myself what I need today, and I'm going to show up tomorrow. And if I had, thinking about the times where I've recorded a podcast on a Friday, like literally the date goes out and then uploaded it, if I had held such a high standard of I have to be consistent, I have to be consistent, I would have had so much shame around that. I would have just been beating myself up, had so much heaviness of like, I am a terrible person, I'm a terrible podcaster, I'm not consistent, I didn't get it out like at the same time this week. And it would have held me, like, shame often we hide. We don't want to show up. Like that would have held me back from actually recording a podcast and putting it out in the world. And like, maybe some people will know. Well, you'll know now because I'm telling you, but like maybe some people will know that it went out, 3 hours later or half a day later than it normally would. Like anyone that's listening to it back in the past is not going to realize a few hours difference. Anyone that listens to it on a Saturday, literally, they're not going to know the podcast is there. They get to listen to it. So like maybe there's a few people that would know, but if I had just held on to like, oh, I'm not consistent, therefore, and like added this big weight and this big story, or like, oh, I should be consistent in this, like I would have just beat myself up, or I would have pushed through and tried to like just get a podcast out or like just do something just to get something out when I didn't really want to, or I didn't really have something I wanted to say, and it would have felt forced. And I would have like had something, but it's like, well, what's the point? What's the point in like putting your energy into something and creating something if you're just doing it to just get it done? It's like such a different energy that you're approaching it from. And like our energy, how we're thinking, how we're feeling, like how we're actually showing up, literally is everything. It's how, like, if I was just showing up like, oh, I just have to get this thing out, and maybe I have in some past episodes, like, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna realize it's maybe not as, I'm not connecting as much. I'm trying to just like shoehorn something in and rush through it and get something out. It's just not a way to create and make a bigger impact and create magic in the world, personally, I think. So instead of consistency, so notice if there's any areas in your life where you're putting this pressure on yourself to be showing up the same way at all times or showing up with the same amount of energy, like over the course of a week, over the course of a month, over the course of like a year. And just what if it's all just a complete, absolute lie bullshit? Because it's been fed that we like have to do this thing to be successful. And I'm not denying that when you continue to show up at something and you keep committing to it, like a habit, it's like, okay, maybe you don't do your habit one day, you don't do your whatever the thing is you're building, and you just get back on track the next day. So it's like you continue to show up, you keep persevering, you keep going. And like if there's one day that you don't, like it's all good. It's, as long as it's not making that mean, okay, there's no point in doing it at all. It's like, okay, that's one day. Now we just get back on track the next day. And it's like, I totally lost my train of thought. Yeah. I'm literally so warm. It's so warm in here. Maybe I'll open the window. Oh, it is boiling. I can't believe I just lost my train of thought. I'm like, do I go back and listen to it? Or do I just keep going? I knew that was going to happen. I could see I've not gone off on this tangent. And normally I can pull the tangents back, but not today. I think I'm just overheating. See, I scribbled anything down. I don't think I did. No. Okay. So there we go. There's my like what I say is not consistent either. It varies. Sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't, and it's all good. And it's just allowing yourself. Oh yeah, that was it. I got it. Yes, yes, yes. Come, the thread has come back. Got it. The whisper. No, I'm not going off another tangent. Got it. Okay, so when you give yourself grace and you don't focus on being consistent. Oh, yeah, yeah. So that's it. So, of course, things like if you're changing habits, building new habits, if you are, say, like a lot of the work we do with coaching, it's like stepping into a new identity, becoming that person. So it's like consistently showing up more as the person you are becoming than like your past self with your old habits and old ways of thinking and old patterns. Of course, these things take practice. Of course, like the more you do them, you're rewiring your brain, you're shifting your nervous system, you're changing your neurological pathways, you're becoming a different person. Of course, that takes practice. And when you let go of the having to be consistent piece and you lean into the perseverance, the keeping going, the determination, the keeping showing up, the like not quitting, the like, okay, cool. This thing didn't happen how I thought. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to get back on track. I'm going to get back on track. And you keep showing up in that way, however it is for you, however your energy levels are, however your creativity varies over a day or anything varies over the day, you will, and when you are like tapping into the identity of who you are being, which is this future self, this version of you, this like identity, this character you're stepping into that you're becoming, when you tap into that, the consistency, as would be like typically defined, or that, yeah, consistency actually just comes. It's almost like an outcome rather than becoming the focus. When we focus on like, I have to be consistent to get the outcome, it's almost like focusing on the wrong thing and we put all this pressure on ourselves. When we just allow ourselves to be who we are and work in a way that works with our brain, work in a way that works with our body, listen to our body of what we need in this moment, in this day, in this month, in this like week, in this cycle, wherever we are, phase of life. And we allow ourselves that while also keeping showing up as who we are, coming back to who we are, showing up as who we are. We are getting the outcome that we want without it having to be, I have to be consistent and do this thing, the same thing every single day, every single day. It has to be the same. It has to be the same. It just, that will just happen. It becomes easier when we shift into the type of person that it's like, oh, I just keep showing up in this way. So for me, I guess like the example would be like with the podcast. It's like, I'm a podcaster. I connect with you guys every single week. And it might look different on some weeks. And maybe I decide I want to pause, and that's okay. But I still come back to, I'm a podcaster. This is what I do. And that identity then helps me want to show up and keep showing up rather than like, I have to be consistent and put out a podcast episode every single week. It's like, no, I don't have to. And when I take that pressure off myself, I want to. That's the crazy thing. Like when we put the pressure of like these words like I have to, or like I must or I should, these like phrases we add in, check in with how they feel in your body. Probably they're going to create a sense of feeling pressure. Like I have to do this thing. Oh, it feels really constrictive and like forced and pressurized. And when we feel pressure, we often just like go and do the opposite thing. So if I was like, I have to do this podcast every week, I probably wouldn't. And I maybe would have given up before that. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, I don't need to do it. I'm a podcaster. I want to share these things. And I'm allowing myself to do it in a way that works for me and my energy and my brain. And sometimes if I want a week off, like that's okay. And I can do that. And that, like loosening it, stepping back, like giving myself permission to not do it every single week in a certain way actually makes me want to do it more. So thinking about that with you, are there areas of your life where you're putting this expectation on yourself that have to or should be consistent, and that in some way that's going to help you or make things better? Or maybe you just drop that. Just completely give yourself permission not to. And then thought about like, who is it you're becoming? Who is it you want to be? How would that person being show up? And what if you just committed to keep showing up, to keep being that person, to get back on track, even if things change, even if life happens, like our energy levels change, things will happen. And that is okay because we are human. We are not machines. We are not robots. Okay. So thinking about that, taking it away. It didn't actually get as ranty this one as I thought. I think it did at the start, and now I'm like too warm. Anyway, what if you let go of consistency and that wasn't even a focus at all? And just coming back to giving yourself permission to do it how you want to, just because you want to, how it works with your own energy, your own body, and just keep showing up, keep persevering, keep going, and see what happens. Okay. Oh, and also if you are in Banchory or Aberdeen or Aberdeenshire, or you fancy traveling from further afield on Friday, I was going to say next Friday, it is next Friday, the 1st of August, I am hosting an in-person ADHD women's workshop at the Deeside Wellbeing Collective Studio in Banchory. I did one of these with my co-host Lindsay Burney back in, I think it was April, we did the first one, and it was so amazing. Honestly, like my heart was so full after it. Just the most amazing women, the most amazing energy. And we shared with each other and collaborated with each other. And then I shared some coaching tools. And then Lindsay took us through this like amazing guided meditation and did Reiki healing. And it was just such an amazing space to connect with each other, to share our lived experience, to just be in the presence of other amazing, creative, buzzy-brained women and connect over a cup of tea, some nibbles, and just have this wonderful, wonderful space that we created for like a couple of hours. So it's from 7 till 9 p.m. If you're feeling called to do it, I'll put the link in the show notes, and it would be so amazing to have you there. And come and join us. Okay, hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If this was helpful, please hit subscribe and leave a review. This helps get this work in the hands of more purposeful people. That is, more people creating bigger, scarier goals, making an even bigger impact in the world. And if you want to take this work deeper and work with me directly, head to the show notes and I've put all of the information there. If you've got any questions, or if there's anything you're like, ooh, I'd love you to talk about that on the pod, please just get in touch. I love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you next time in the Scary Goals Club.